Hello everyone, my name is Zachary O'Shea, and this is Box of Teeth. Every October for the last few years, I've shared a homebrewed monster for Dungeons & Dragons each and every day, and that has not stopped this year. So right now is your monster day for October 19th, 2023. Here in week 3, what I have been doing is sharing specific named fairy knights who work for the Waning Court's various princes and princesses. To recap, the Waning Court is a group of homebrewed fae that I use for a horror-based D&D campaign that really delves deep into the subgenres of folk horror, body horror, and cosmic horror. The reason why I'm sharing one night a day this week is to really kind of flesh out the Waning Court via its personalities to all of you, so you can get a better idea of what it's like, and to kind of give a guideline to fledgling storytellers, DMs, etc., about how to take a base creature, give them personality and a name, and create a memorable antagonist that doesn't necessarily need to be legendary. That was last week. Now, the Waning Knights are all CR 10, but all the ones this week are CR 11 because they're a little bit spicier. We're going to cover the last of the known knightly orders today, here in just a moment, and a personality from them. But first, I just want to recap what a Waning Knight normally is like. They do have a decent amount of hit points. They're wearing studded leather. They do have damage immunity to lightning, thunder, and attacks made with non-magical, non-silvered weapons. They do have aura of arrogance, so when they're missed with a melee attack, the creature that missed them has disadvantage on the attacks against them for the rest of that turn. Related to that, they do have prideful stride, so whenever they reduce a creature to 0 hit points, they can go ahead and make a dash action without provoking an opportunity attack when they move away. They do also have ephemeral mean. Because they are otherworldly and alien and strange, they move through difficult terrain without any penalty, and they can Misty Step once per day, but after that their speed becomes 0 until the end of their turn. Almost all of them carry what's called a Throne Shard Sword, which is made from a shard of the King Under Amber's throne, the King Under Amber being the former ruler of the Waning Court before his warring children took over. So we're going to go over the last of the named knights now for the orders, and the last 2 knights we're going to cover don't have a specific order themselves. They're a little bit special in that regard. Specifically, that would be Dame Bitter Breath. So let's go over her right now. The only thing that stirs Dame Bitter Breath's blood is battle. She'd rather be hewing through enemies of the Princess of the Pale Moon than anything else in the world. To her, the sight of frozen blood is more beautiful than any rose from any plain. The rest of the Court of First Chill knows this all too well and does their best to direct Dame Bitter Breath's bloodthirsty nature anywhere but at her peers. Endlessly training, she cuts a lean, athletic figure, which she shows off in an armor comprised of leather and insect wing gauze. Dame Bitterbreath knows that showing off her perfection will distract most of her opponents, and she is also a very vain creature. She has mastered winter-based magic as best a Fae of Autumn can, and serves as the Princess of Pale Moon's champion in interactions with the Winter Court, as few of their spells can harm or hinder her. Her disdain for lesser entities has also reached a new level among even the Waning Knights, because her wounds stitch together whenever she can prove their incompetence. Alright, let's take a look at her statistics for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. Now again, she is a CR 11 creature. She has more hit points. She has a higher armor class than most of the other Waning Knights. With the rest of her order, she does have innate spellcasting, in this case Augury, Ice Knife, and Ray of Frost. Now uniquely, she has the first Chill, so she rerolls any 1s on cold damage that she deals. She also has the last Leaf, so she also regains 1 hit point every time an attack actually misses her. And lastly, she has Winter's Sight, so her vision is not obscured by weather-based effects. Like the rest of her order, she also has Ice Sickles, which is a radius effect of icicles that she can use on a periodic basis to deal cold damage to creatures around her. Now, Dame Bitter Breath seems very simple, but she can be very brutal, because every time she's missed with an attack, she regains a hit point, and the creature that attacked her also has disadvantage on further attacks against her that round, which is likely going to get her more hit points. It's like a regeneration that is pretty conditional, but it also means not attacking her is the best option which probably isn't something you want to do in a fight. Dame Bitterbreath is also a really good representation of how I see the Princess of Pale Moon's very specific court that she runs, because the Princess of Pale Moon is very bitter. She wants to be in the winter court, and Dame Bitterbreath really epitomizes that kind of haughty, mean-spirited nature. I'm glad that I could share it with you. Of course, you can see all the monsters for this October, every monster for previous October, and all the other homebrewed monsters I have, which are hundreds of them for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, all with a horror theme, by going to boxofteeth.blogspot.com, and they are all perfectly free. If you're more interested in the other horror role-playing game projects that I have that have nothing to do with Dungeons & Dragons or the horror fiction that I write, which includes Grease Paint, you can see it right there in the background with an axe. It has a killer clown who has an axe. It's a lot of fun. You can always go to www.zacharyoshea.com. All right, everybody, again, thank you for your attention and your time, and have a wonderful rest of the day.